Hello, everyone. This is author, motivational speaker, and dating coach Matthew C. Horne. And I'll bring you a video tonight titled, Why Semen Retention is for Unattractive Men. I got one for you tonight. But before we go any further, always know my videos in the dating space. They're inspired by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life. In addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available at my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to continue to push with the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these elevated messages. But let's get right to it. Why semen retention is for unattractive men. And this topic came about, I think maybe a couple of lives ago that I did on YouTube, that someone brought up the topic of semen retention in the chat. And I gave my answer, and I want to share my expanded thoughts on the answer that I gave to the gentleman who brought up the semen retention on the live. And traditionally, in the space of the male-centric YouTube space, manosphere, whatever you want to call it, semen retention, the overarching benefit that is sold to men is that it's supposed to increase your masculine essence and your masculinity. I guess there's a myriad of advantages that are sold, but mainly it's to increase your masculine energy, aura, and your overall masculinity. That's what it's sold to us for, to increase those things. But, when I really thought about it, there's nothing that semen retention is going to do, because it's not a natural way to increase your masculinity. It's not a natural way for your masculinity to pervade your being and exist at the forefront of who you are. That's real masculinity right there, when it can just be perceived and you go about achieving your highest levels of masculinity through nature, okay? Nature gave us a very clear indicator that our semen was not meant to be retained. Okay, so every morning when you wake up, if you're healthy, if you have healthy blood flow, you're going to have what's called morning wood. And every man knows what that is. Okay, when you wake up, you're bricked up, you're ready to go conquer something. And that's nature right there. That's nature telling you to let your seed go. And ironically enough, I'll take it a little deeper. Ironically enough, you're involuntarily hard, bricked up when you wake up. You have nothing to do with that, because that is the time, that's the last moment to procreate before you go out into the world and conquer the day. When you go out and do your work. We were designed to work, but we were also designed to procreate. There's no coincidence that we wake up immediately able to procreate before we go work. Think about that. So nature's telling you that you're not supposed to retain your seed and your semen. Nature's telling you that by involuntary acts on every man that encourages him to, let his semen go, to not retain his semen. So nature is giving us exactly what we're supposed to do. And semen retention is going against nature. And anything that you try to accomplish by going outside of nature is going to be false. It's going to be hollow. There's going to be no substance to it. And there's not going to be something that comes back from it that's going to benefit you. So semen retention, it goes against nature. If you really want to increase your masculinity, this is the way that we were designed to increase our masculinity. We were designed to not fall prey or fall victim to philosophies, indoctrinations, things that take us away from ourselves. We were not created to falter into those mindsets that take us away from ourselves. We were created to examine ourselves, pay attention to what the universe is telling us about ourselves in terms of our strengths, examine ourselves and identify our strengths. Okay. And then once you identify your strengths, you work on your strengths, you sharpen those, you bring your strengths to a point of excellence, to mastery, predictability, that you can operate in them and you're going to increase every time. That's predictability right there. That's mastery. So we were designed to discover our best, master our best, and then offer our best. And what happens when you do that is that naturally, through nature, the best is going to find its way back to you, because you've identified and you've accepted and you've given the best things about yourself. That's masculinity right there, because masculinity develops from that, because now you naturally know everything that's supposed to be in your space and you don't accept anything that's not supposed to be there. The thing about working on yourself and sharpening your best acts, your gifts, your talents, the thing about that is the impactfulness that you represent. The matrix, the society never wants you to examine yourself to that point, because you'll have an awareness of yourself that you will never be able to abandon. You'll never be able to be controlled or manipulated. That's masculinity right there. Singularity. Singularity as a man in terms of understanding of what you have to offer, and the refusal to accept anything that comes into your space that's not a reflection of the understanding of what you have to offer. That's real masculinity right there. Masculinity naturally creates balance. Something as silly as semen retention is just going to give you a big set of balls, and ultimately nature's going to prevail anyway. You're going to have one of those dreams and that semen is going to be gone. You know? You can't defeat nature. And if you're looking for something, go to nature to acquire it. Semen retention is going outside of nature to acquire masculinity. If you want real masculinity, you go within yourself. And so you have an understanding of what you have to offer to the world, to women, to the society. And now you have ultimate balance because you understand yourself. See, one of the main catalysts for the benefits of semen retention, according to the people who came up with it, is that you're going to be more appealing to women. You're going to have these pheromones. You know, all this testosterone is going to be in you. And these women are just they're going to flock towards you, you know, just telling you a bunch of bullshit. Because the ultimate scent that intoxicates a woman is neutrality. Neutrality is a byproduct of understanding yourself and having high levels of masculinity, self-love, self-actualization, self-awareness, the ability to master something and predict that every time you give this something from yourself, there's something positive and beneficial that's going to come and prosperous that's going to come back to you. Okay? So that's mastering something right there. And when you take that version of yourself through life to women, there's an energy that's going to come across to women that's called neutrality. The energy is the complete understanding of yourself and the fearlessness of losing any woman that's in your presence. See, a masculine man, the women feel it energetically when they meet the man. There's a desperate energy on most men because most men have not gone to depths of masculinity that can be perceived and felt by others. So there's desperation that is felt on most men when women are in this space, in the presence of most men. There's a desperate energy. There's an energy that values her more than he values himself. And she picks up on it. And a lot of women will take advantage of it. They'll see the depths that they can explore of your insecurities within yourself, your unattractiveness. That's why semen retention is for unattractive men, because those men are not attracted to themselves. And if you're in the space of a woman and you're not attracted to yourself, then you're food. You're something to be played with, it's something to be taken advantage of because you have no awareness of yourself and what you have to offer. So true masculinity is perceived. It's perceived through the neutrality of your tone, your energy, and your speech. She knows that you're there to declare whatever you're there for. You're not going to hide who you are. You're not going to sell yourself. Even if you accomplish some things, you're not going to sell anything outside of yourself when you meet her. And you're not going to inflate your accomplishments, which is an indicator to her that you hate yourself, that you're operating not in masculine energy. You're operating in feminine energy at that point if you're moving away from yourself. Masculinity singularly moves from within. He's not afraid to abandon himself. He's not lying to women. He's not trying to coerce women and trick women and manipulate women. That's an admission that you're not enough. And there's no way to operate in full masculinity with the mindset that you're not enough. You're only going to create and attract chaos. But that's what true masculinity is women feeling the neutral energy that is you and that surrounds you. And she knows that you're not afraid to lose her. That's real masculinity right there. And that has nothing to do with any sort of semen retention. It has everything to do with self-actualization and self-discovery and self-acceptance. Because when you really accept yourself, you're only accepting things into your space that are designed to be there. And you only understand the design of you, of your life, if you have understanding and deep levels of awareness of yourself. Then you understand the design, meaning that the things that are congruent with the man that you become, the things that look like, the things that normally come back to you on a regular basis by virtue of the man that you become. Those are the things that you allow into your space. That's nature right there. Those are the things that naturally belong because you understand yourself. And that's the greatest benefit to becoming a masculine man, is that your world is completely balanced. And as a masculine man, there's just some things that you're going to accept when it comes to women, interactions with women. You know, I never told one lie when I made that video, Sexy Attractive Men Have Short Interactions with Women. That was one of the ones that took off and got me here today. I never told one lie. Because this, when it comes to women, this is where it gets a bit deeper. Women desire masculinity, but they are not regularly in the space of it. And whatever they experience on a regular basis is a reflection of their level of comfort. So this is what happens when a masculine man encounters a woman, especially a sex symbol, a man who's fully assembled, who actually looks like something, who has great things going for himself. He's beyond taking full inventory of himself. He's become pure lust, desire, and masculinity. That's what he's become. He's become sex. So by consequence of that, he's going to have sex with lots of women because lots of women want to have sex with him. And what's going to happen is that those interactions are going to be very short, because naturally this is what women do when they're in the space of true masculinity. Not a big swollen set of nuts from semen retention. I'm talking real masculinity. What they do is, the first thing they'll do is experience the man, because she has to experience you sexually, because you're a departure of an offering that she was naturally designed to ingratiate herself with. She was naturally designed to ingratiate herself into your space. So she's going to experience you. But then, since there's no evidence of men like you in her life, she's going to reveal her instinctive comfort in movement. She's going to challenge you at that point after she experiences you. And when she tests your masculinity and she challenges your masculinity, if you're a masculine man, you understand that your masculinity is to be experienced and not challenged. And so you let that woman go. And then at that point, she does away with masculinity, or masculinity does away with her. It discards her because she doesn't know how to be in the space of it, because the things that are opposite of you that pervade her life, the dismal outcomes, the low quality men, the low quality experiences, that's where she's comfortable. So the only thing that she can do is challenge your masculinity, because it exposes too much of her and what she's comfortable with, and how much of your energy and your likeness is missing from her life. And it makes her uncomfortable. So she has to challenge it. And then once she challenges your masculinity, if you're a masculine man, you don't accept anything that challenges your masculinity. You only accept things that recognize your masculinity. And so what happens after that? She loses your masculinity. And that's the cycle of a man who operates in true masculinity right there. It's not going without letting your semen go and retaining your semen and all that stuff. That's a gimmick. True masculinity is in discovering yourself, discovering so much about yourself that you fall in love with yourself. And you're not allowing yourself to be susceptible or vulnerable to anything that's not in love with you. That's masculinity right there. That's a completely balanced space. And that's what every man should aspire to. Not through mediums outside of nature, but by the natural exploration of yourself that creates the natural understanding of what should be in your space. That's true masculinity right there. And most women, they're going to lose masculinity, because if you look at their life, the backdrop of their life reveals their comforts. Okay? The backdrop of their life is outside of what they sell. It's outside of, oh, men do this for me. I have access to this kind of man. If you look at the backdrop of her life, it's the complete opposite of whatever she's selling. And so once you understand that, you understand that there's going to be very short interactions that you're going to be having with most women, because they haven't prepared to be there. They have not aligned themselves with masculinity before they encountered true masculinity. If they desired masculinity and they were tired of the comfort and the predictability of the lower tier dismal experiences that they have on a regular basis, if they were tired of procreating with men who don't want them, what they don't want, if they were tired of being in unhealthy relationships, abusive relationships, all the things that are them, all of the things out of their life. They would have prepared for something different. And that's where the evidence is that that's where their real comfort is. So as a masculine man, your space is always balanced. As a masculine man, there's going to be men around you who don't understand how you let women go so easily, how you don't attempt to re-engage with them after one sexual encounter, how you don't tolerate disrespect, how you can see a woman that you've had sex with and walk right by her like nothing ever happened between you two, like you barely know the bitch. It's going to puzzle men around you because they're weak. And they want you to be like them because it takes too much effort. It takes too much transformation and energy to become like you. And they know your true masculinity. So men and women reveal their comforts through their instinctive inclination to challenge your masculinity. And this is how it happens in real time. This is real masculinity, is the fearlessness of losing any woman. The fearlessness of losing anything that doesn't want to be in your space. There's a fearlessness. You don't care. You only care about balance. And balance is a natural byproduct of you accepting your natural self and understanding yourself. And so I can think about even, recent experiences with women who see women, they're always going to test masculinity. And that's something that they just can't get away from. They just can't. They want to test and conquer masculinity. And I can remember, recent experiences of meeting women, and we're a physical match. I've had a tall, very attractive woman. Me, she has her heels on. I'm still towering over her. I'm the man she knows she needs in her life. And so I'm talking to her, and then next thing you know, somebody else walks up. It was like a gay dude walked up on her, and she diverted her attention to him. So me and my boy's waiting on me. I stepped right off from her. When you're a masculine man, you only exist in neutrally desirable spaces. That's neutrality right there. So I stepped off from her. Then she came up to my car. You know what I'm saying? Because she knew I wasn't playing with her. She knew that there was no pedestal that existed in my space for beautiful women. She knew this. She knew that she was immediately neutralized. She had been celebrated at her whole life, that whole night. And she saw me, saw I wasn't playing with her, saw real masculinity. She says, I need to experience this. And she did. She experienced it that night, that morning. And then we talked a little bit after that. Boom, nothing. It just fell off, which is cool. Most sex symbol men, after one encounter, a lot of them are going to get ghosted. You can make her squirt, you can make her shake, all that stuff, but she's not comfortable in your space. And most women, they want to be able to dominate men, not experience men. Because if they really wanted to experience men, then they would listen and they would prepare for what quality men have to expect and what quality men say in terms of what they want. And so I ran into this girl again not too long after that. I'd say about a month after that happened. And she saw me and I immediately recognized her. She smiled. I smiled and laughed, and that was it. Just kept it pushing, man. Because I understand. See, a lot of women will get into the space of a masculine man, and it's very uncomfortable. Like, it's something about them instinctively and innately that knows that they're supposed to be there. But then there's another part of instinctively and innate knowledge that they have not prepared to be there. So a lot of women who will sing your praises the loudest will disappear the fastest. And that's real masculinity right there. See, masculinity is so neutral that the woman knows that she has to show up as something in order to stay there. The men that she's comfortable with, she can show up any way she wants to in their life, and they're happy to have a piece of consistent pookie. And if she's beautiful, he's happy to tolerate whatever disrespect he has to tolerate in order to keep her there. That's what they're used to. That's their comfort level right there. But when it comes to masculinity, there's responsibility built into the interaction with the masculine man. And that's where their discomfort shows. And that's where their actual comfort pervades, meaning they have to get out of your space. There's so many women who will sing your praises after they have that encounter with you, that experience with you. And then they'll do something disrespectful and you have to toss them to the side. And then a lot of them try to come back, or you'll see them again. They'll try to re-engage you. And it's no re-entry because they lost masculinity. And if that's true masculinity right there, especially as it relates to women, That's the typical slope. That's the experience right there. She's going to encounter you, experience you. She's going to challenge you, and she's going to lose you. And then the one who can stick around is the one that prepared for you. But that's real masculinity. And that has nothing to do with hyper masculinity through semen retention. Nature already showed you that your semen was designed to be spread. And in all honesty, as a sex symbol man who's operating in full levels of masculinity, there's no semen to be retained because there's too many women that want your semen. I've said enough. This has been Matthew C. Horne, author, motivational speaker, and dating coach. Just bring you a video talking about how semen retention is for unattractive men. It's brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available on my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to continue to push me with the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these elevated messages. And if you've been impacted by my message, you have a deeper understanding of yourself and your masculinity, your personal power through personal exploration, the best that you have to offer and the best that's going to come back in return. If you're better for having encountered Matthew C. Horne right here in this message tonight, then I want you to make a donation to my PayPal or my Cash App information that's in my video description. I'll never tell you what to donate. Just donate according to how you've been impacted. And understand your donations to keep me right here so that I can be in place to continue to bring you these elevated messages so you can receive these elevated messages and become more elevated men every day. Men are telling me they're getting breakthroughs when they see my content. Men are telling me their lives are never the same. I want the donations to reflect that. Make your donation, okay? My PayPal, my Cash App information is in my video description. If you're in need of coaching, if you have different challenges, impediments, and shortcomings that you're facing regularly, circular movements in the dating space, frustrations, I want you to reach out to me for coaching, okay? Email me at matt@matthewchorne.com. Leave coaching in the subject matter of the email. In the body of the email, you leave your name, your phone number, and whatever issues that you're facing in the dating space. I want to do an assessment. I'm going to email you back with the terms of the coaching. And once you accept the terms, we'll set up the coaching call, the 1-hour coaching call. And then you'll get your breakthroughs right there. Reach out to me for your coaching. Also, if you're interested in a year-long coaching journey with me, okay, my mentorship program, my year-long coaching journey, then I want you to email me at matt@matthewchorne.com. In the subject of the email, you leave mentorship. In the body of the email, you leave your name, your phone number, and you tell me where you are in the dating space and where you want to be. Give me a complete depiction and description of where you are and where you want to be. I'll do an assessment of that. I'm not going to email you back. I'm going to call you. We're going to get on the line and we're going to decide if we're a good fit to work with one another over the course of a year. That's what we're going to decide, okay? In the year-long mentorship program, coaching program, what you're going to get is a minimum of 3 coaching calls per week. The first coaching call is going to be amazing all the way through the last one because I'm doing a personal assessment of you, of exactly where you are, and creating custom coaching and curriculum to take you to where you want to be. So it's personalized and no 2 individuals are going to have the same coaching. So that's just the beginning of it right there. You're also going to have 24-hour access to me as well. Meaning that in between the coaching calls, you can reach out to me, text me, call me. If you have any particular issues that you're facing, if something you need quick advice on something, just anything, I'm yours for an entire year. Just imagine what your life is going to look like if you work with me for an entire year. You're going to be unrecognizable. Unrecognizable greatness is going to pervade your life and surround you. And also, I'm only taking on 5 people because I'm giving so much bandwidth of myself. And the people who got extended coaching from me, they know how much of myself I give in every coaching session. So I can only take on 5 people. And I'm going to meet up with everyone in person at least once. That's another reason why I'm only going to take on 5 people. I'm going to personalize this. I'm going to coach you in person. It's an amazing space. So if you're interested in signing up for my dating coaching, my 1-year dating coaching program, just reach out to me by the means that I have already said, matt@matthewchorne.com. Also, my school community on the school, my dating community on the school platform, I want everyone to sign up. The link to sign up will be in my video description. In this community, I do a coaching call once a week, every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do a monologue on a particular topic. We do a live right in the community. Everyone's on video. And I do a monologue on a particular topic. Then I allow the members of the community to dialogue with me back and forth about the topic. When we're done with that, everyone gets to ask me whatever they want to ask me for an hour. I'm their dating coach for an hour. Every live that we have is archived. And I've had this community for a year now. So there's dozens of videos that you can watch, dozens of lives that we had. Also, I put exclusive content in the community that is not on YouTube. So we have dozens of videos with exclusive content. I allow members of the community to give me video topics they want to make videos on. And I put those right in the community. It's an amazing space for personal growth. Dozens of videos, possibly hundreds at this point, archived for you to go in and binge watch and grow. Get that exclusive content from me, okay? That's not on YouTube. And commune with me once a week for an hour. It gets no better than that, okay? So I want everyone to sign up for my dating coach community. And the link to sign up will be in the video description. I want to see everybody there. And thank you to everyone who's been signing up. Thank you to everyone who's a part of my community. You are valued members of my circle. And thank you so much. And the last thing is, if you all want me to make custom videos, I hear you all in the comments, you asking me to make videos on particular topics, then if you want me to make videos on particular topics, you have to make a donation of $150 or more to my PayPal and my Cash App information that's in my video description. And once you do that, then there's a note feature on PayPal and Cash App where you can leave the title of the video that you want me to make right before you complete your donation, okay? And if your title is more detailed and nuanced than just leaving a note in PayPal or Cash App, then what I want you to do is complete your $150 or more donation to my PayPal and my Cash App information that's in my video description. Bypass the note feature, complete the donation without leaving a note, and then email me at matt@matthewchorne.com with your more detailed and nuanced description of what you want me to make your video on. And I have your video on my channel in 24 hours or less. So yeah, definitely reach out to me to get your custom videos. But that's it. That's all I have for you all today. I hope that you understand that semen retention is not the way. It's a circular, frustrating gimmick. There's nothing worthwhile that's going to come from that in terms of making you more appealing to women, because that's what the sell is. That's what the draw is. The semen retention is how I'm being sold, is that it makes you hyper masculine. It gives you this intoxicating scent. And it's so far from the reality of what true masculinity really is. True masculinity is an understanding and awareness of yourself through self-exploration. Giving of yourself once you've perfected yourself and once you've worked on yourself. And the observation that everything is elevated now coming back to you because you've elevated yourself, because you're giving the best parts of yourself. That's complete understanding. That's masculinity right there, because that creates balance, meaning that you're not going to allow anything into your space that's not a reflection of the man that you've become. Becoming is ultimate self-discovery. You can become many things, but to become your true self is the height of masculinity, because you're giving the best of yourself, because you're not afraid to be yourself and you're never moving away from yourself. That's why Maslow says self-actualization is at the top of all human needs. Self-actualization, a deep oneness, awareness, and appreciation of yourself. That's where your masculinity resides. That's going to create neutral experiences when you step to any woman. She's going to feel that you're not afraid to lose her. And that's going to put her in her natural place of submission, because she's right where she was designed to be. That's the cornerstone of masculinity right there. And you take that with you. See you all soon.